Dinner for shoes, please.
Sunday Littles is a Canadian mom-founded brand creating incredibly soft pajamas for the whole family. Their signature Cloud Luxe bamboo fabric is breathable, temperature regulating, and honestly some of the softest sleepwear I've ever felt. Their newest collection, Wild Wild Rest, is inspired by timeless Western style with matching prints for everyone in the family. At the heart of it all, Sunday Littles is about slowing down, making memories, and celebrating the little moments together. Hello, and welcome to an episode of Dinner for Shoes. Today's episode is a standard Dinner for Shoes formatting. We are having a special guest on today. Her name is Stacey Kalsi, and she is the founder of Sunday Littles, which is a mommy and me pajama brand. Since I started the podcast, I've actually always thought about having an episode about like mommy and me dressing because I have a lot of friends who have children. And I'm like very curious about what people think about mommy and me dressing. Like, I feel like everyone is like, that's weird. Like, we don't do that. Like, I'm not going to dress like my child. And then other people are like, oh no, it's cute. But then I think we can all collectively agree that something like Sunday Littles, which is like a pajama brand, is like adorable. And of course we want to dress up in pajamas like our kids. It's also going to help us like get them to bed earlier. I'm saying us, like I have a kid. We know I don't. Like they're excited to jump into their matching pajamas. So I have always thought this was kind of like a topic that I did want to cover. And I'm really excited because Stacey is a powerhouse. She is a dentist, a mom of two, and she has this business that she started when she was on maternity leave, and it's become like another full-time job for her, which is incredible. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about how she came up with the idea for Sunday Littles, what's behind the name. We'll talk about the prints and patterns that she chooses, how she's going to continue to elevate and evolve the idea of pajamas for her brands. Wink, wink, Bridal. I'm really excited that we can talk about that today. And Stacey has also created accessories for her brands. I am going to be talking to her about an accessory idea that I had that I brought to her to create custom bridal scrunchies for my Get Ready With Me crew, which is basically like my bridal party, but I'm not having bridesmaids at my wedding. So we're going to talk about all of that good stuff and how she's inspired to continue creating for a brand that really relies on personalization, customization, and like love and your connection with others. So I'm really excited to get into all of that. Let's quickly do the outfit behind the shoes. I'll give you a rundown of what we're going to eat today for breakfast. Since this is a typical Dinner for Shoes episode format, we have breakfast. We start with the shoe on the plate, but we will have different plates for our breakfast. This is a pump by Larroudé, and I absolutely love it. I think I've worn it before on the podcast. I feel like it's the type of shoe that even if it gets dirty, it's very easy to clean because of the patent leather. I think it's the perfect white too. It's not like dental white. I hate dental white. That's funny because Stacey's a dentist. I hate like white, bright white clothes because I get so nervous to get them dirty. So this is like the perfect like ivory shade for me. I like the little strap across the top because it makes me feel secure. And the heel height is perfect. And then Larroudé shoes are probably just the most comfortable shoes in the world to me. They make a sexy, edgy, fashion forward shoe that feels good to walk in. I was literally, like there's that trend on TikTok right now that's like everyone being like it's like 3 pictures and it's like for like a loved one and it's like, and that's my why. I was like putting these on this morning and I like slid into them and they're so comfortable and I was just like, and that's my why. So that's the Larroudé pump. I decided to wear this blue set from Lilysilk. I am obsessed with it. The pants are oversized and so is like this little top that is really adorable. It's like a little crop situation, sweater, perfect for summer because it's lightweight. I'm wearing like a white bodysuit underneath it, but I think it's kind of sporty. So I put my hair up. My hair is also greasy today. I feel like there's no episode where I'm like, my hair isn't greasy. My hair is always greasy. And then I'm wearing really beautiful blue jewelry that I love. I feel like I have a lot of cornflower blue jewelry like this set, so it's perfect. Also, we're going to be talking bridal. So I was like, let's put a little something blue on. My engagement ring, I have these really cool, like knot earrings that I like. I feel like they're a little sophisticated. I wanted to bring an element of sophistication into the sport. Hair in a ponytail, keeping it simple. Stacey and I are about to have eggs Benedict and lattes, which is going to be so yummy. Oh, I'm going to plate this for us. This is from Turning Point. I've been to Turning Point down the shore. I've never been to the Turning Point in Hoboken. So we ordered Eggs Benedict. Eggs Benedict is Stacey's go-to breakfast meal. And we were recording this in the morning. So that is our dinner today. Let's go get the door and let Stacey in. I am here with Stacey Kalsi. Stacey, welcome to Dinner for Shoes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We did not plan this, but we are like totally matching.
Yeah. I feel like we're like paying an ode to Sunday Littles, like the powder blue.
So I did do that.
Oh, you did?
I looked at like the website again this morning, even though like, of course, I've seen it so many times.
Right.
I also chose like the blue plate, which we'll put your shoe on later at the end of the episode.
I love that.
But yeah, so tell me about why you chose this outfit. Obviously, you know, we're a fashion podcast. And so like, I like to talk about like the shoe that you chose to wear and why you're, I love your necklace too.
Oh,
so
thank you.
fill us in. Tell us about your look.
For sure. Okay, so this has just been my go-to dress. It's so comfortable. I believe it's from Reformation. And then I just love the blue. For some reason, like I've noticed that in 2026, I've just been gearing towards blue. And then my shoes, they're Chanel ballerina flats, and then they're blue as well. And a fun fact is that I actually bought this like kind of around the time we launched Sunday Littles, and I saw that they were blue, so I was like, you know what, this is a sign, I need to buy these.
Yeah, totally. And it kind of like symbolizes the start of your brand, which we're going to talk about today because you do it all. You are literally incredible.
Oh, thank you.
And we have Eggs Benedict because this is our dinner, even though it's the morning. I got this from Turning Point, which is a restaurant that's based in Hoboken, where we are right now, but also they have like other locations in New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
I've never actually had the Hoboken one before.
Oh, okay.
So we can like dive in and try it and eat it. And I have to tell you, I never thought I was the biggest hollandaise person, but I'm trying it again. Like, we're going to try.
I do the same. I always get it on the side, and I feel like I never really dip into it anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you said that. Yeah. My fiance is like obsessed with it, and he's like, how do you not like it?
It looks actually really good.
It does look good. And
so good.
I always like walk past this place and I'm like, oh, like maybe I should go there at some point. I know it's so hard though to like eat and talk at the same time. So obviously.
Oh, all good.
Yeah.
I know I was worried. I was like, when I initially said the breakfast sandwich, I thought about it and I was like
it's going to be messy.
Do I want, and like last night I had a burger, and I noticed in America, like the burgers are like, I kid you not, they're like 5 inches high. So then I was like having to squish it. And I was like, how would my kids even eat these burgers? And then my makeup, like all over my face was just smeared off. I'm like, it's fine. I'm going home.
When I was in Canada, I tried the Canadian bagels. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Right.
Really good.
Yeah.
Kind of like chewier than a New York bagel.
Yeah.
But like and I like the sesame seeds on them.
Oh, you do?
Like, so good.
Right. Did you go to Tim Hortons?
No.
Okay,
not when I was there, but I did walk past one.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's like our equivalent to like, I guess like how you guys would consider Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know that recently, apparently Dunkin' Donuts, they just like announced it last week that they're coming to Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we never were in Canada before?
I don't believe so.
America runs on Dunkin'. Now Canada's going to run on Dunkin'. So,
yeah.
Okay. I'm admittedly more of a Starbucks person, but we made our lattes today,
yeah.
So.
It's so good, by the way.
Thank you. But anyway, so Canada is where your brand was started, obviously. You're from Canada. Tell me, and we can go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
You started Sunday Littles when you were on maternity leave, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
With my second baby.
And you're a dentist.
Yes.
Okay. So you really do it all.
Oh.
When did you realize that like Sunday Littles was more than like the maternity leave project. And it became like this like brand?
You know what? I would say even when I was like designing and like building the brand, I felt like that's when I knew, like when I was getting ready to launch the brand, it just felt so right at the time, and it still does. But I felt like I was building something more than just like pajamas. I feel like I was building like kind of an emotion and like something just to kind of let moms know within the community, like you're not alone. And I had such an amazing village, like helping out with my kids. And I just wanted to be that for other moms.
Yeah.
And so when we started it, once I launched, I just would be getting like DMs at like 2 a.m. saying like, oh my gosh, my kids are finally sleeping throughout the night. Or like I would be getting other DMs like where my toddler's throwing a tantrum if we don't have your pajamas like washed and everything. So I just thought that was very sweet.
That is so sweet. And before you came here, I like did a little intro and I was saying like, I don't have kids yet, but I've always, since I started this podcast, and we're almost like 100 episodes in now. And from the start, I'm like, I'm going to do an episode on like mommy and me dressing. Like I always like had it in my head because a lot of my friends have kids.
Right.
I never actually did it, but I think the idea behind it was that people are like when it comes to like everyday dressing, like some people are into that like mommy and me thing. Yeah. And some people are like, okay, no, like that's reserved for pajamas. Yeah. Or like one of those like moments at the end of the day where you want to like wind down with your kid and have that like special shared, like it's time for bed. And I was saying how like, and I didn't know if this was true, but how maybe with your pajamas, that would like get kids more excited to go to sleep because like they're going to be matching with their parents or with their brother or sister. And like, it does help in a way.
Yeah, totally. Like even my daughter always says like once I get home, the first thing I love to do is like, I'm not one of those people that change into like lounge clothes and then pajamas before I get into bed. Like I just change into pajamas right away. And so like whatever pajamas I pick, like my son and daughter are always like, wait, I want to match you. I want to match you. So I think it kind of triggers something like, okay, if mom's in pajamas, like they kind of understand like what the next step is. Like they're 2 and 3, so they don't understand the concept of time. But I feel like they're kind of looking for like little landmarks throughout the day. So I think once they see me change to pajamas and they change into pajamas, I think it kind of helps like set their brain like, okay, like bedtime is approaching soon.
Yes, that totally makes sense. And obviously this brand is like for moms and kids, but it's for women, and like you're getting DMs from women who are resonating with it. Have you learned anything about women that has like surprised you maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. What I would say the biggest thing is that I probably would learn is that women are just girls kind of going through life for the first time. So I think as you know, once you find out that you're a mom, like you're going to be a mom, I think there's so much societal pressure. It's like, that's going to be your whole identity. And even when I was pregnant, everyone just kept saying, look, oh, get ready for sleepless nights, or like, and because I'm a dentist and I feel like I'm career driven, like there was so much like talk about like, what are you going to do with your work? Like, are you going to take the full year off? And I think that, and those things kind of scared me a little bit. Like, I think the way that people position us, like, oh my God, this doesn't sound enjoyable. And when I had my kids, it was everything but like what people were making it seem. So that was my biggest thing, is like, I feel like moms, I just wanted a way for moms to kind of feel like themselves again. And I feel like, it's super fun to dress your kids. And I feel like moms always put everyone first, especially like their husbands. And if it's not their husbands, obviously it's the kids. Oh yeah. And I feel like it's so nice just to, you know, for moms to take a minute and like kind of put themselves first. It's really nice just to kind of, in my personal opinion, I feel like pajamas are a form of self-care. And I feel like kind of getting DMs from like moms, and not even moms, just kind of like women who aren't in the season of like motherhood or anything like that. It's just a form of self-care. They just kind of feel a little bit more put together and intentional.
Yeah. And how has like, so when you first started, walk us through like the way the pajamas have evolved, like what your first vision was and what it's become, and even if you want to like tease what you're hoping for.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say, when we started, we actually started with, obviously when the brand started, it was mainly children's pajamas. So we only, like, I didn't really think that I was going to go into the route of, like, adult pajamas. So we started with children pajamas, and then we were just getting, like, a lot of DMs saying, like, hey, what about us? So then I was like, that's so fair. Like, what about us? Like, I want to match too. Yeah. So then I started going into women's products, and then also men's for, like, Christmas season. But I think a lot of, like, the dads are feeling left out, so I have to do more like drops that involve the guys as well. But I think for the women's product, it's funny because once I started launching women's product, it ended up being our hero product instead of the children's products. And then I started off with like a jogger style with like a crew neck with like a jogger style pajamas, because that's kind of what, like, I usually do surveys on my stories, and it sounded like the audience wanted that. So once I did that, it was great, but it still kind of felt more like lounge wear instead of pajama wear. So that's what made me switch to kind of the traditional button up relaxed leg. And then it's a way more of a relaxed fit.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us how you decide on prints, because like that's huge too. Once you started designing for women, did that change the way you like chose your prints and fabrics and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like the biggest thing with our prints is that I kind of stick with like the nostalgic motifs, and I feel like when I do that, it just really helps kind of design the prints, because I feel like with like nostalgic elements, it just kind of triggers something with moms, like, oh my god, I remember that when I was growing up, like kind of invoke this emotional feeling. And so for prints, it gets tough, because I feel like when it's just kids and solely kids, you can be like a little chaotic and like crazy with how you want to do the prints. But when you're kind of considering moms, I don't know if necessarily moms want to wear something like that. So now it's just, I kind of just scale it back, and I try to do something with like vintage. Like a lot of the things, like when I have an idea, like with this Western print, the first thing I thought was, should I bring it?
Yeah. And this is part of your new collection.
This is our Okay, so
And what is it called? Is it Wild?
It's called Wild Rest.
I love that. It's so Wild Rest.
We were like going back and forth debating between Sunday Ranch. Yes.
Stacey, this is so soft.
Yeah.
Like this is amazing. So, I would live in this.
Right? Yeah. So I feel like this is really fun because moms, and I feel like dads would also want to wear this.
Totally.
And then I feel like with kids, you know, because I feel like a lot of the prints that are made nowadays, sometimes they're just a little bit loud and noisy. Yeah. I feel like this is super fun.
Yeah.
For, you know, kids just to see like cows and cowboys and cactus and everything.
But also like for it to feel this soft.
Yes.
And kind of like excite them for going to bed.
Yeah,
it feels like you're going to bed.
It does. And there's a cooling effect, which is really nice. So there's bamboo's like thermoregulatory. So it keeps you warm in the winters and then cool in the summer. So it's nice that every time, even when my kids put on the pajamas, they're always like, oh, it's a little cold, and which is nice.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, and then I have the matching pants. Sometimes I'll kind of switch up the pants just to do a different print if like the print is a bit chaotic, but this one just kind of felt
so, and it's like elevated too. It's more of like an elevated mommy and me and dad maybe pajama,
totally.
You know? I'm obsessed.
I love
this
that.
Is so good.
Yeah.
And why did you choose like the Wild West theme, Wild Rest? What was that?
Well, you know what? I think I was just, you know what it was? We did our Sunday mood. We launched that in April, and it's a cow print, and it's just like a brown cow print, and it just went viral, and everyone really loved it. And while we were designing the Sunday mood, the cow print, I thought it would really be cool to launch two prints at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was toying with this idea, but when I was teasing the cow print, I was just getting so much amazing feedback. So I thought, let me just launch that alone and let it have its own moment. And then this just kind of came as like a secondary launch.
Western is like having a moment.
Yeah,
like, people are loving it.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
Yeah. I think people are even like searching for these type of prints and like Western themed everything. So spot on.
Yeah. And I feel like country music is just like really coming into its own. Yeah.
Totally. Let's talk about accessories too, because you also have accessories.
I do.
So backstory here, I came to you with the idea of doing like custom bridal scrunchies for my bridal party or like my get ready with me crew. I'm not doing bridesmaids, but like they're getting ready with me. And I was thinking of like something that they would use beyond the wedding and something functional. And I feel like that's what I see in your brand, is that it's cute, but it's also functional and personal at the same time. So why did you feel like accessories was kind of like a natural extension, and where do you plan to go with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like with the scrunchies, a big thing with me is, well, kind of when I was searching like just amongst the market, I never really saw matching like scrunchies with pajamas. So that's kind of what sparked the idea. I thought it'd be really cute because we kind of have like a pajama that looks similar to this print. And then once I got, like, I just happened to have like a swatch of fabric and I wrapped it around my wrists, and I was like, oh my God, this looks so cute. And somehow it just elevated this home look. So I thought that would be really cute. And it's funny because my daughter constantly reaches out for that scrunchie. So then I thought, you know, it'd be really cute to offer scrunchies that like moms and like their children can wear at the same time. So like, let's just say, obviously we're not gonna go out and about in our pajamas, but like my daughter loves to wear scrunchies when she's out and about. So I thought it'd be cute if we had matching scrunchies. And then, I thought I would kind of go into that route. And when you had messaged me about the bridal scrunchies, I thought that was a perfect idea, because when I look on my Instagram, like a lot of our OG customers that have been with us since the beginning, like everyone's in different seasons of motherhood, but I've noticed that there's so many women that have children but are now getting engaged or getting married. And I just thought that we're celebrating so many moments at home. Like we're celebrating like all the holidays and all these different moments, like the welcoming of a new baby with matching pajamas. But I thought, how sweet would it be to like celebrate like tying the knot? So I thought the bridal scrunchie sounded amazing. So I still wanted, I know you wanted to kind of personalize it. So I thought we could do something personalizing with charms. So I got 4 different colorways because I was like, where are we going with this? Because I love.
We'll take pictures of these too. Yeah. But these are incredible.
So I love the blue because we went with like the same thing, like the Sunday Littles powder blue. And then I didn't know if like bachelorettes people wanted to be more playful and do something like a pink or a black. And then obviously bridal is with the white.
And do you know why I love this too? Because it does feel, I mean, I would like wear this as part of like my finished
all
look,
the time.
Like a bridal look. Like this is not, while you can wear it when you're lounging around. And I think that's also my favorite thing about scrunchies is like when you're getting ready, and especially when like you're going to get your hair done or something.
Right.
You don't want to wear like a tight pony that's gonna like cause a ridge or something, and I feel like scrunchies are just more gentle.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
And this fabric is like bridal fabric. Like it is beautiful.
Yes,
I'm obsessed, and the charms are so.
The charms are so cute. So I kind of had this idea when you mentioned it to me. Like I put one of these little custom charms on, but like I just thought that it would be super cute, just to kind of like you can get like your own engraving done. So I kind of sourced a bunch of different charms.
Obsessed.
And then I thought it would be super cute. Like, I don't even know. It could even be like an activate, like a brand activation. Like, design your own.
You should
charms.
get into
Yeah.
like, I'm like, have another job. Yeah. Go to events and let people design.
Right. Yeah. Because we actually have a collaboration coming in the future, and I thought it'd be, and I kind of had the idea. It was like, what if we do like have like moms and daughters come and like whatever charms that kind of feel personal to them, that they could just put it on their scrunchie and call it a day.
This is so like the way it's designed is just so smart, because when you think of putting charms on a scrunchie, you might think like, oh, it might get stuck in my hair. But like it's on the outer edge, it kind of like makes the look.
Exactly. And that's why they're like, oversized. So I was kind of playing a lot with like the size of the scrunchie, but then once we were going back and forth, like they actually had a really great idea. It's like the purpose of keeping it large. It's like, because obviously if it ends here, like if it's 5 inches in circumference, that like the charms will get caught in your hair, but keeping it long, it just kind of falls into place.
This is so smart.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you are going to kind of like start to drop things or ideate collections around special moments like bridal in the future?
I think so. Like, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So should I bring up the
let's talk about bridal PJs, because you surprised me with this, which like so exciting.
So I know you mentioned the scrunchies, and like while I feel like the scrunchies are such a great idea, it kind of felt like an extension of the brand, and then it sparked the idea, like you, in addition to like the other customers who are getting engaged. So I thought, well, I'll have you open it.
Okay.
So this is kind of like the first sample. There's so many changes I want to do with it, so take it with a grain of salt. But I was trying, when I was messaging you, I got your initials embroidered. I was trying to find out what your husband's last name is. Do you remember when I emailed you and I was like, can I get Mrs. something? And you're like, no, that's really weird. Like, why would that be on the scrunchies? And I was like, oh my God, just tell me your husband's last name.
Oh my God. This is wait, the trim?
Yeah.
I love. This is unreal.
Oh, thank you.
You know the other thing about it? Oh my God. It's also short sleeves. So this is incredible, because I feel like while I do love long sleeve pajamas, I know that this weekend when I'm like there, basically like my wedding is going to be on like, it's kind of like an island where we're staying with our family.
Yeah.
So we stay for 3 nights, and I know, first of all, I'm gonna need pajamas for like 3 nights. Yeah. But also I know I'm gonna be like sweating, running around, and like also I love that you did my initials, because Nick knows this, but like I'm gonna keep my last name.
I did the same. So that's so funny. I kept my last name as well, and I was like, I'm just gonna hope that she's keeping her last name.
No, this is and it's gonna make me feel like me on like my wedding weekend. Yeah.
So this fabric is super, super soft. It is a different fabric than we've ever used before, so that's why there's so much like R&D that's going into it.
Okay.
But it's called Pointel, and it's cotton. It's 100% cotton. So love it. Just right now, the grams like per weight that I chose, I believe it's $190.
Okay.
So what I learned from this one is that we just have to increase the GSM to at least 250 because it's a little bit see-through.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know some brides don't mind it.
Yeah.
But I thought, let's just, because it's just like ever so slightly see-through.
See, that doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm very free the nipple.
Right,
so.
I know. I feel like I'm that way too. And then I walked out. I got a pair as well. My husband's like, they're a little bit see-through. And then obviously we would be making this matching for kids as well. So like moms that are getting married that have children. So we thought for the kids print, it would just have like this trim as well. And then for the baby rompers that have the zipper, we would just take this frill and kind of have it go across the zipper.
So are you also going to make it so that like brides could come in and like customize these for their like bridesmaids and stuff too?
Yeah. So that's why we're kind of working on the pocket here. So feel free to like kind of give me ideas, because initially we did the pocket with the print on it, but now I don't know if that makes it a bit busy. So we were even thinking about perhaps like
without
just keeping without the print, so that way it just makes this standalone. Or
you could, but like I'm the kind of person, this is just me personally, I think a lot of people love a loud monogram. I like a subtle monogram.
Right.
I like monograms when like you just so happen to notice it, but not everyone notices it.
Yeah,
that's just my personal opinion. But it would be cool also maybe if you offered like different color stitching, and then it would pop a little or something. But I am obsessed. And like the bows are the something blue.
Yes, that's the name of the pajamas. I was thinking. I thought it would be called something blue.
I love that. It's perfect.
Yeah, and so the reason why I went with bows, because I was like, you know what, it's sweet, and I feel like it can outlive like the bridal moment as well, just because like bows symbolize unity and tying and like all that. So I'm like, even though maybe if someone's not getting married, or like just if they want to kind of get something for their kids, like kind of tying like this love with their kids or something like that, I thought the bow was just kind of seasonless.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Stacey, I'm so excited to wear these on my wedding weekend.
Okay. Well, I have to send you the updated sample, but you'll have just 2 pairs.
You are the best. Yeah. This is amazing. I absolutely love it. You have such a great mind for this. I know, like you said, you like to like opt for subdued prints, which is very smart because like longevity, classic. Do you think that they resonate with bridal parties to begin with?
Yeah. You know, what's really funny is that when I initially started Sunday Littles, like the biggest thing, like our most like requested DMs that we would get is like, oh my gosh, can you gift for like our baby shower? And like that was just all I kept getting in my inbox. And then once I started doing the women's line and kind of like catering to like, okay, I want the women to like feel like, oh my God, I want to reach out for these pajamas. And like obviously have the kids be like, okay, I love these pajamas as well. So once I started kind of having like that whole shift in the way I design prints, we've just been getting like an astronomical number of requests for like bridesmaids and gifting like bachelorette parties. So the first time I got like a DM about gifting our bachelorette party, I actually thought like they had the wrong company. And I was like, no, what are they talking about? And then we started getting like really large volume of orders, specifically with our Sunday mood, like the cow print. And I can understand that. Like even in our photo shoot, we did the cowboy boots with it.
Yeah.
And so then when I started getting like really large orders, it was like 10 pajamas in one order. And then we got a couple like a brand requests to like have some of the pajamas for brand trips as well, which was really cool. So that's when I started seeing the shift of like, okay, this is like going beyond like moms. And I do want to obviously have like my target audience not just necessarily be like a mom, but like someone like you, just someone that's like kind of going through the seasons of life.
Totally. Yeah. And I think my favorite thing you've said maybe throughout this entire podcast so far was like, you also thought about moms who are getting married after they've become moms, and like people don't think about that, and that is frustrating. Like as a woman, there isn't one way to move through life.
Absolutely.
And like for you to consider that is huge, and I think a lot of other brands don't.
I
also think like your pajamas scream brand trips. I've been on a lot of brand trips being an editor, and like it screams like connecting with like your sisters, like sisterhood. So I feel like the more you do this, like the more people will reach out. And do you feel like you're ever gonna like leave dentistry behind and just make this full time?
That's so funny. That's like the number one. I feel like that's like the question I get asked so many times. And to be honest, I don't think so. With dentistry, it's so flexible. So I do 2 days a week, but they're super, super long. They're about like 13-hour days.
Wow.
And so, they're like really, really long. So I try to pack in the dentistry hours into those 2 days. But it's something I worked my whole life for. It was my mom's dream too. So I feel, and I love dentistry as well. And I feel like there's a huge creative outlet with dentistry. And I think whatever I'm like lacking in terms of that, I feel like it comes out in Sunday Littles. But I think maybe I might reduce my hours so they're not so like, I'm not so zombie-like at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't see myself not doing it. It would be weird yeah.
I totally get that. You have great teeth, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
No, I actually, it's funny because you know how some kids are like nervous to go to the dentist?
Yeah.
And it's just like one of those things, like doctor, dentist. Like, I always enjoy going to the dentist because my parents found us a dentist who was just so gentle.
Oh, I love that.
And like, I loved the flavor of the toothpaste. Like, weirdly enough, that was just like a thing that I like looked forward to at the dentist. And I feel like there is an art to it.
There is. Yeah. Because I do like a lot of like composite veneers.
Okay.
I know in America, because I went to
I know what veneers are.
Yeah. So it's just, exactly. Like you can just, whether you get it like made out of porcelain versus like actually have it being made out of like composite, which is like the filler material.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is kind of where I get a lot of my creative outlet, because you kind of sculpt the teeth and people want to lengthen, they want to change their shape, or if they have like a rough pass and like, you know, they just want like a transformation or something like that. It's really cool to kind of go through that process with them.
Yeah, it's so special. And I love that you can like, you really fulfill your creative outlets in different ways.
Oh, totally.
But like, you're great at both, obviously.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's weird because like, even going back to your first question, when it came to Sunday Littles, I feel like I obviously got a huge sense of fulfillment with the kids and with dentistry, but I can't explain what this sense of fulfillment I get with the business. Like, it's something that actually like makes me want to get up at 5 a.m. and like work on it and like, you know, just like put the kids to sleep and continue to work on it. I don't know I can't explain it, but it's really cool.
Where is everything made, and do you ever like go see it in person? Like, what is working on the actual samples look like for you?
Yeah. So we actually did meet our manufacturers. They're based out of China, and they're a lovely family.
Yeah.
So we kind of were going through like a few of the manufacturers, but kind of what made me resonate with them is just because it's a family-owned manufacturer, and they kind of understand, like they have little kids themselves, so they understand the importance of bamboo and everything like that. And then they use like very high quality bamboo as well. And then they allowed me to kind of like customize and tweak the bamboo, so that way ours isn't necessarily what's comparable to the competitors.
Okay.
And that's like a big feedback, is like a lot of people do say, okay, we see the difference. Like it has like really good weight.
It does.
And that's something I don't want to compromise on, is like,
Totally.
I do want like it to have that luxury weighted feel. So I do feel like they did a really great job in like having, like, we call it the Cloud Luxe bamboo. And I feel like they did a really good job of like how many times I tweaked it over and over. So pretty much like, because I went there and I got like all the sampling done, and it was just a lot of back and forth, I think we kind of got to a good place where we got to make this custom milled bamboo, and then I pretty much just took everything home. So like now when I send them prints, like this print, I have all the piping swatches, the buttons and everything at home, so you just kind of go back and forth.
So they mail you and you like say, I want to tweak this a little bit, and then they mail you the next sample. That is really cool.
Yeah, and we've kind of got it down to a point, like this one will obviously be different because this is like a brand new fabric that we've ever worked with before, but with this one we kind of got it to a point where like we tweak it so much at like on mock-ups and like choosing the prints, so then by the time they send me a sample, like it's already much good to go. Like this actually is a sample, and once I tried it on, felt it, there was like literally no changes that had to be done.
Love that. I also love the ribbing on that one, because I feel like it's like sometimes when you wear something really ribbed, like you can almost feel it, but that is so subtle, I guess, and like it has the weight to it. It's perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've been doing that recently. Like a lot of our fabrics are ribbed. I don't know. I've been really appreciating the ribbed. I think it's
like almost like a trend thing that people love now too. I love ribbing. Definitely. And I should have asked you this at the very beginning, but like, let's end with it.
Yeah.
When did the name Sunday Littles come to you? And like, I guess, when did the idea come to you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I remember it like so vividly. I remember I was driving to work, and I think this was I was 8 months pregnant with my son.
Okay.
And then, so obviously I had my daughter, and then I was driving to work at like 6 a.m. And then I was talking to my husband. I was like, I had this idea, because I kind of was sourcing bamboo fabrics and like putting it on my daughter, and like literally bamboo was like the one game changer for her sleep. So when I was kind of trying with different fabrics, and like I was so well rested that day that I was like, oh my God, I can totally go to work like a half an hour early. And I was on the phone with my husband. I was like, I really think I'm like onto something here. Like, what if I just try to design the prints myself? And like, I feel like with our prints, they're a little bit more like more subdued. Like they're a little bit more, and I just want like a little bit more longevity with the prints. So I feel like this will always be something in style, like whether it be 100%. Today or like 6 months or a couple years from now. And so my husband was kind of like, I just, because apparently I had really high blood pressure at the time. And I was like, I feel great. I don't understand what the doctors are saying. So he was like, well, take it easy. Like, let's just see how you feel. And he's like, let's just have the baby, like, take it easy.
You're almost there.
Yeah. And so then he was just like, the doctors are saying X, Y, and Z. So I was like, okay, for sure. Totally ignored all of his advice. And then, like, when I got to work, like, I just, for some reason, I wouldn't let go of the idea. And so then when I would get home, I started kind of like building it on Pinterest almost. And like, I was trying to figure out what the logo would be and like what the name would be. I had no idea at the time. And then I was kind of pulling together like a mood board almost. I had no idea where I was going with it. And then finally, when I had Cruz, my son, literally 2 days after that, I went and hired like a graphic designer and someone to make the website.
You were like,
and she's
let's
great.
get to work.
Yeah, because she also does like a lot of like brand management. So we kind of started from like ground zero and like we started everything. But the name Sunday Littles just kind of sparked in my mind, I think even before my son was born, because I just love Sundays. Sundays was a huge thing in our family too. Like my parents worked tirelessly, but Sundays was like the one non-negotiable. Like no one can really have any plans that day. Like we never had activities on that day, or my parents always made sure they always had the days off, and like we would just be lounging in our pajamas all day. And so now kind of going through like parenthood and everything, I always look back to our Sundays, and I don't know, it just gives a huge comfort feeling, and
that is so
I just want to pay that for my kids.
So sweet. It is so true too that like the people you spend your Sundays with affect the way that you think about Sundays, because my fiance, he is obsessed with Sundays, and he actually has the same mentality that your family did about Sundays. But before I met him and moved in with him, I looked at Sundays as more of like the day before work, and it was like the Sunday scaries thing. And for me, it was not necessarily like scary because I had the same job for like 12 years now.
No, but I value the Sunday scaries because I get that every single Sunday.
Right, like you like it in the beginning, and then it's like towards the end of the day, you're like, it's coming. But complete mindset shift with him. Like now we literally are just like, we're gonna make Sunday go as long as possible. We're gonna lounge as long as possible. Maybe we'll go on a walk. If we're not in the mood, that's okay.
Right.
And like we're gonna order great food, or we're gonna make a good dinner because we're saving for the wedding now, so we cook more. But like and like watch like a good movie or something. So now Sunday is kind of like that day of rest and enjoyment.
Yeah.
And I do agree, like it all has to do with like who you're spending it with, and
it makes a huge difference.
Well, I'm obsessed. I'm so excited to see like where the brand goes, and I'm so excited for you, and I'm excited to wear these as part of my wedding day and like photograph them.
Okay, I love that. Okay, perfect.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for being here.
For sure. Thank you for having me.